Got a little Star Wars theme going today, the RAT2D2 for you right now. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for swinging by today. If you haven't already, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Also, please subscribe before you take off. Today we're talking about the Star Wars knife as the joke online. This is the RAT2D2 from Ontario Knives. Neat little knife. It's cost effective and we'll talk about that here in a second. But first, let's talk about some specs and the knife itself. This RAT Model 2 has the awesome upgrade of D2 steel blade and a satin finish and an OD green nylon 6 handle. If you like the Ontario RAT Model 1 but want something a little less bulky, then you'll love the Model 2. The RAT 2 is based on the popular RAT 1. It's smaller, but maintains the same great shape and performance of the original. This knife is designed for comfort and performance, with an index finger groove on the handle and jimping on the spine of the blade for controlled cutting. Features textured nylon 6 scales with an open-built steel liner lock frame. The RAT 2 is fully ambidextrous with dual thumb studs and a 4-way reversible pocket clip. It also comes in at an awesome price under 50 bucks. With a price, design, and material makeup like this, the RAT2D2 is made for value. So definitely a sweet little knife from Ontario Knives. It is a cost-effective option too for those that are looking for something more, along the lines of under $50, as we said in the description there. This comes in the D2 at about $37, $38 at the time of this video, but it is really kind of a neat blade. You can tell the difference between a blade like this and a $100, $150 knife, somewhere in there, just quality, but let's talk about that a little bit. Not every knife can be, or wants to be, or needs to be a super high quality across the board material thing, but this knife really checks a lot of the boxes that you're looking for a great everyday carry. One thing, a lot of people are nervous to carry a knife that's 150 bucks, 200 bucks, 300 bucks, whatever it may be. This knife is not, like I say, $37.50. The grip on the handle is, I like the color. I got the green. There are different colors, but it does have a little bit of grip to it. It definitely is going to be something that, if you get your hands slick, it will grip a little bit. I do like that it has that hole right there to put your finger in, which is nice. It does have some jimping on the back, or on the spine. I will say the jimping's okay in my book. I like a little bit sharper jimping. This is kind of rounded over, but if you're one that doesn't necessarily like your finger to have to feel your finger on there, you'll probably like this. It is small enough that you can get up and do some detail work. The overall length of this is 7 inches. Blade length is 3 inches. So if you are one of those unfortunate folks that lives in a state where you can't have a blade, your blade has to be for a concealed carry 3 inches or less, the RAT should work just fine. They put you in right at that 3-inch mark. So as I mentioned, it is a liner lock. Looking at the lock or the liners itself, they have not hollowed them out. That's kind of a popular thing now to save a little bit of weight. This knife doesn't feel super heavy to begin with, so I don't think it's a huge issue, but maybe they did that just to add some strength to it, which would make sense. I will say a few things after I've carried this for a couple months. One negative that I have, and again, this is a personal preference thing, and you'll hear me talk about that on my other videos. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, make sure you do that. When it comes to a personal preference, just my preference, the knife in my hand, let me show you here, it covers my whole palm, but when I flip it, it just feels like it's gonna jump out of my hand. And maybe that's just me, but I like to feel like the knife's secure in my hand when I'm flipping the blade out. So it does fine. It deploys pretty fast. It's not a super heavy blade, so it doesn't, it's not that real hard thunk, but it is plenty good. It feels really strong. So let's talk about the clip a little bit. It is not a super deep carry pocket clip, but it does get down there. You're going to have a little bit extra hanging out on the top, but it is reversible, so you can do it left-handed or right-handed, tip up or tip down carry. So that's nice. Options are always a wonderful thing, especially at a knife this price, just giving more options. So overall impressions after carrying this knife for, like I said, a couple months is the blade stays sharp. This one I had, again, you know, I've talked a lot about D2 steel. It seems like about half the knives that I review have D2 steel in them. I will tell you that in my personal opinion, I've always had great luck with D2 steel. It is relatively cost effective, but it's a good steel if it's treated correctly, and I've had good luck there. So this one has been great. It's kept a good blade. I've put a couple edges back on it, and it's been completely fine. So I would give a thumbs up, a B to an A for the steel, probably a B. There are a lot better steels, obviously, but good steel, especially for $37. The handle material, I'll give a C, maybe a B. It is good material, but there are better options out there. But for the price, this is over the top great. All in all, a great everyday carry, something you don't have to stress about if you lose it, because again, price is always an issue. So if you lose this, it hurts to lose a $37 knife. It is a gut punch to lose a $150 knife. So that's something to keep in mind. So talking about just quick uses with a 3-inch blade, anything that's within that 3-inch blade area for use is great for this. It'll be box opener, it'll be food prep, it'll be cutting ropes, it'll be anything like that that's an EDC sort of knife that you're not going to have to necessarily pound on the spine or pry real hard, but it'll cut, it'll keep an edge, and it won't let you down. If you like this, I have a link below where you can find it, either through Amazon, which is an affiliate link, so if you buy it through there, I get a little tiny portion of it, or you can buy it on Blade HQ's website. I can leave a link for that as well. But don't be afraid of this knife. Again, another winner. For some reason, I've been pretty lucky about getting knives that I don't hate, so I'm sure I'll come across one eventually, but this isn't one of them. The RAT2D2 from Ontario Knives. Go out and get it. Thank you very much for watching today. Please make sure to subscribe before you take off, and until next time.